What's going on, guys? This is Mike with Chit Chat Gaming, and welcome to this week's edition of Retro Friday. We are taking a look at Virtua Racing Deluxe for the Sega 32x. That's right, you heard me correctly, the 32x, the console that was known as a failed console. But there is definitely some great games on the console if you can find them. The 32x may have been a disappointment to a lot, but for me there was some great games on here, some great arcade style games. Being this one right here is definitely one of my favorites on the console. Now this game was actually made for the Sega Genesis as well as the Sega Saturn, but everybody pretty much always references this one as being the better of the three in the Sega, or in the in the actual Virtua Racing series itself. So we're going to jump into it here. So this game basically set the bar for games like Daytona USA, Sega Rally, that arcade style racing game as well too. Being that it's a Sega console, it definitely allowed comparisons and such as far as this one and the later Daytona USA games go. But like I mentioned though, this one is definitely always known as the better of the three Virtua Racing games that came out for Sega consoles. Now the 32X kind of had a bad vibe in a lot of people because the fact that during the time when the 32X came out, it was a plug-in console, it was an add-on. It was rumored, that basically the Sega Neptune was actually going to be the rumored console that was going to come out. That was going to be 32 bits instead of the 16 bits that were actually in with the Sega Genesis and the Super Nintendo and such. But Sega dropped all that, and they basically made an add-on for your Sega Genesis. And along with this and the Sega CD, if you owned all three, it was a cluttered mess of chords on your console. So I think it would have been cool. I think it would have been a lot better if they would have made a separate 32X or just its own 32-bit console. But regardless to say, they did not do that, and the 32X did not last very long, mainly because I keep spinning out here. Alright, so the corners are kind of hard to take, but you just gotta let off the gas a little bit here and just kind of slide around them or just kind of roll around them. So like I was saying though, the 32X would have been a great console, but one thing that happened as well too was that the Sega Saturn was released in Japan the same time the 32X was released here in North America, so it was destined to fail. So here's some different camera angles you can do as well too. A little bit of first person mode here. Do a wide angle. I personally I like just the medium angle right here, so you can change that as well too using the X, Y, and Z. But like I mentioned here, I am playing this on the 32X. Great game. There's a lot of great games on the 32X, including Doom, which it gets its hate, but it was actually a pretty good port. Chaotix, which was basically a Sonic game as well too. It was the only version that was actually available on the 32X. Only Sonic game that was available on the 32X. Sonic Chaotix. There's also some other games on there as well too, including like Star Wars Arcade and such. But again though, as far as racing goes, this is one of the main games on the 32X that was an actual arcade racer. Now for me, I like this game. I'm also a big fan of Daytona USA, a big fan of Pole Position 2. So I do indeed enjoy this game, and I relate to it a lot too, as far as that arcade style racer. Man, I just really wish, and it's really not that the handling really isn't too bad here. So just want to do a quick race here for you, so you guys can get a general feeling of what it's all about for Retro Friday here. So of course, every time you hit one of those checkpoints, you extend your time. So we'll see if I can make it here. See if I can finish the race in time. This is the Big Forest map, one of the more basic general maps as well too. There is several other ones as you saw in the menu. But as far as the gameplay goes, it's not bad at all, and it looks really good considering that it's a 32 gigabyte, or that gigabyte, my gosh, a 32-bit console. It does look pretty dang good for its time. Alright, get around this corner here. Oh my gosh, are we gonna make it? Come on. Oh my god, come on. Oh my god, with no time to spare, I made it. So I finished the goal. I finished off in 6 out of 16. So it even has the old game over style that Daytona USA has. I know this is before then, but it's just so cool to see the similarities between the two as well too. So again, guys, I want to quickly show you Virtua Racing Deluxe for the Sega 32x. Let me know in the comment section below if you had a 32x, if you own this game, if you played the Sega Genesis version or the Sega Saturn version, which one was your favorite here as well. Like I mentioned, I'm always interested to hear what you guys have to say, so I hope you enjoyed this gameplay. Just wanted to do a quick Retro Friday video here for you so you guys can check out Virtua Racing Deluxe for the Sega 32x. So once again guys, this has been Mike with Chit Chat Gaming, and as always, happy gaming.